Sir, I haven't seen you before. I wasn't expecting any guests, and you don't look like a new recruit. And yet, Odrin let you in. He's not drinking again, I hope. Most unfortunate, but that explains why you just strutted into the horns. I'm afraid I'll have to take action.
The name's Fergus, and I assume you already know I'm the quartermaster here. Now state your business.
And please, try to be convincing, or the walls of this fortress will be the last thing you'll ever see. Yes, I know. And that's why you're still standing in front of me. However, these pens were only given to certain people. They mean that in times of trouble, these people will always find a safe haven here in the Horns.
And that makes me wonder, what happened to your friend? Where is he? If what you're saying is true, he must have had a deal with somebody well above my pay grade, and that leaves only the captain.
However, if you're lying, then you might as well have just confessed to the murder of a Knight of the Round Table. But nobody's that much of a fool, I think. Fortunately for you, I've seen my fair share of morons in life, and you don't look like one. Fortunately for me, this pen only means that I'm to make sure you're safe in the Horns. Nothing about helping you out with whatever you're up to.
Anyway, welcome to the Horns of the South. Make yourself at home. Ninian. I knew the Red Death would take him. Damn shame. He was one of the good ones. You did right bringing this back. The Horns look after their own, even after they're gone. But, now that I think of it, how did you manage to get hold of his tag? Tortured? In the asylum? You can't expect me to take that at face value. Brother Riagan said Ninian was too weak to survive the journey. They came for him, and we even held a symbolic keeper's burial for him. And what were you doing in the island asylum? You look fine, but if you were there, near him... I'm sorry this happened to you. Still, you have to understand, now that you've told me this, I'll be keeping a close eye on you. No risks can be taken when it comes to the Red Death. Just as I thought. If you have friends among the knights, you'll want to talk to the captain. But that's not happening anytime soon. Because I said so. What? Did you really expect that you could just enter our keep and head straight for the captain's quarters? There wouldn't be much point in having walls and guards here if anyone could just do that, would there? So what? And have you helped any of my people? Or are you just here to wave that pen in my face again? First, show me you care, and then I'll take you to the captain. I can't have every random stray wasting his time. Not now, when the outcome of the war with its tribes is so precarious. I trust we understand each other? Good. Come back when you've proven your worth to the Horns of the South. Then we'll talk. Excalibur? You want to pull it out? That's a good one. Well, be my guest. If you think you can, go ahead. But unless you're King Arthur reborn, I wouldn't count on it.
We've been having trouble with the dead lately. The kind that don't want to rest in peace. There are more and more of them roaming the area. It might just be the weirdness, as it has been steadily creeping closer from the north, but somehow I doubt it.
Anyway, I suggest you go see Marg first. He knows best what's going on there.
There is a local legend about a dark druid named Slaughter? Slaughter? Slaughter, that was it. He was a necromancer rumored to be able to raise the dead and make them do his bidding. It's quite an old legend, though, so unless he managed to raise himself from the dead, I doubt he's behind this.
He's our huntsman. He keeps us stocked with meat, so the lads don't have to live on fish alone. They get pretty grumpy when that happens. Right now, Marg is the only other person who's allowed to leave the keep. I'm not about to risk the life of our last link to the outside world, especially when you're so eager to lend a hand.
It's old. From what I've heard, it even predates the Horns of the South. The keepers and the people from the village below used to bury their dead there, but after the flood, it's been pretty much abandoned. Yeah, damn druids. They flooded a village of innocent people just to show everyone they're still in power. Fat lot of good it did them. I'm not gonna lie, I'm glad we got rid of them. The things they could do were unnatural.
It's not far, and it's hard to miss. But honestly, I'd suggest you go see Marg first. You don't really know what you're walking into, so if I were you, I'd try to learn as much as possible beforehand.
The captain forbade anyone from leaving the keep, so I couldn't. And truth be told, I didn't particularly want to. We don't get many recruits, and you're, well, your words, not mine. Good. Try not to get yourself killed, and get rid of whatever's been causing the problem.
I'm Captain Brandon's right hand. He deals with the serious matters I don't want to know anything about. I take care of our everyday life.
Fine then. This is the keep. Anyone sworn in as a keeper lives here, unless they're no longer fit for service. If that happens, they get transferred to the village. Otherwise, they're not allowed to go there without my express permission. So if you ever see any of my boys down there looking shifty, feel free to report them.
You're allowed to walk around the keep and the village, but if anyone catches you stealing, I'll take your hands. If you attack any of my men, I'll take your head. That enough for you?
He's not our first line of defense. The archers are. Every man here needs to have a job, and no offense to Odrin, but let's just say we can afford to lose him. I'm sure the hordes of visitors clamoring at our gates can survive the insult. It used to belong to the keep. You could say it was its beating heart. That village was where our lighthouses led the ships, and where the workers lived with their families. Ah, those must have been the days. But then the ships stopped coming, and there were less and less new keepers, and the others left looking for a better life.
Until, at last, the sea took most of it.
What else was there to do? There weren't enough people to live there, and nobody wanted to anyway. Not since the monsters started coming out of the sea. We wiped out most of them, but new ones showed up every now and then. Marg, our hunter, keeps an eye on the place. You can talk to him if you want. Depends on your idea of interesting. There's a weird statue with a gong, but I'm not sure how much of it is left. Other than that, probably just damp rubble. I don't know, ask Marg. I'm pretty sure he just sits there all day instead of hunting. No wonder we've been eating nothing but fish.
If you need rest, You can sleep in the barracks. It's no royal chamber, but it's better to sleep under a roof than under the stars, right? Especially in this horrible weather.
If you're here to see the healer, don't bother. He's a quack and a butcher who likes to watch people suffer. I came to him with a toothache, asked him to make me something for the pain, and you know what he did? He said my tooth is rotten, and then sent me to Osbrit to get it pulled out. That, and I wouldn't trust him anywhere near my mouth. Don't get me wrong, Osbrit's a decent blacksmith, but he's no good with teeth. With one lad, it took him 3 tries before he got the right one. I'll stick to my grandma's potion for toothache. Or I would, if Heber would stop being such a dick and make it for me.
Heber took the recipe from me. And even if I had the recipe, I'm no good at mixing that stuff.
Said if I don't know how to make it, I shouldn't have it. And that he doesn't want some questionable homebrew medicine spreading through the keep. You will? Oh, you're a lifesaver. Tooth saver, yeah? No matter. Don't worry, I'll give you something very special if you bring me that remedy.
You all right, newbie? Have you been to see the refugees? I can't believe poor Cole was put in a cage. Hey, what a mess. Cole came to us with a group of refugees from some nearby villages. They were looking for shelter from, well, everything that's been happening here. Bandits, the weirdness, the Del Reader, hunger. I was happy Fergus let them in and allowed them to stay. You'll meet them in the village. They live in the buildings up high. Not long ago, though, Cole started acting very strange, erratic, sometimes even aggressive. One of our keepers, old Mahon, tried to calm him down. He might have used too much force, and Cole felt compelled to defend himself. He bit old Mahon. And since then, the old fool has been lying in the infirmary. Frankly, I think Mahon brought it on himself. They shouldn't have put that poor man in a cage. Wait, if you ever meet Patrice, please give her those flowers. No, it's not much, but I'd like her to know she's not alone. I support her and the other refugees. And I'm sure there are more of us who do. Good to see you again. The pledge today was very interesting, wasn't it? The certainty in Quartermaster Aymer's voice. Beautiful. Makes one eager to start work. So, what do you need this time? The pass again? Are we planning a trip to the Stale Lamb? Hey, not this time, my friend. I've run out of ink. I'm waiting for a delivery. Steward Orla will let me know when more arrives. In the meantime, I need to ask you for a favor. So, you in? For the sake of our long friendship? You do know it needs to stay between us. Do you understand? Say you understand. Fantastic. So, here's the thing. On a recent night out at Wrongs, it seems I may have left some sensitive documents at the bar. Documents, with Captain Fergus' seal. But not necessarily sealed by him. You know what I mean. I can't really go there right now. Could you get them back for me? I'm sure it won't be too much of a problem. Splendid! When you have the documents, meet me at the third crowing of the rooster. Or just find me. I'll be around. Attention, the better. Bloody seagulls! Can you hear me, you flying vermin? Just try landing here and I'll pluck your asses clean. A keep by the sea. What a great idea that was. And what do you want? I'm fixated. Me? Oh, you didn't see what they did to me a week ago. I was just standing watch as usual, and then suddenly, splat. A dozen of them flying overhead, screeching, shitting and whatnot. So I yelled what I think about them, shaking my fist. And then another 4, splat. And they kept screeching. I tell you, they're laughing at me. I spent all night cleaning my armor. Sewell didn't think it through when he decided where to put the keep, mark my words. And I don't like how you seem to think I'm a fool. So, what now? Should I shit on you for that? I don't think so. I once managed to shoot a few. I thought they'd learned their lesson and wouldn't be flying over here anymore. And guess what they did? They kept shitting. With increased force. Like they're planning it. Vengeful scoundrels. I need to try a different strategy. Find something that will make them feel real terror. Like the way crows are afraid of scarecrows in fields. I'm sure seagulls also have something that scares them. We just need to find out what it is. A fee? I'm not asking you to hunt down a monstrosity from Grubwood or the Sunken Village. Whatever. As you wish.
you'll get your fee. Oh, you must think yourself an expert, damn you. I just need you to bring me some kind of a bird scarer. They'll learn their lesson and keep away from me. I don't know. I'm not sure if there's anyone crazy enough to take up something like this. There is one guy in the museum, Riderick. He's supposed to know everything.
Were you at the pledge? I didn't see you. Yeah. Victory over health. Honor over life. Yeah. Bandits, tribes, Sodom all. Sleep, damn it, is the worst son of a bitch I ever fought. No sleeping, no. The service is eternal. Where would we be if Seawall took naps all the time? You need to serve, not... I shut my eyes for about 15 minutes every day. Sometimes 20. Besides, a true keeper doesn't sleep. He keeps watch. The Old Mother will reward me after I'm dead. But I'm not gonna lie. That potion from Eber, our physician, works miracles. You could stand on the walls all day and night and not even think about closing your eyes. What? Listen, pal, I never asked. I just came in the evenings when I was getting sleepy and took it. And then Yan put it somewhere else. Keeper's vigor. Good stuff. Shows what you know. Once more, call to this glorious service by the grace of the sea.
Everything will be just fine.
Watch the feet! Your feet! And my priceless seedlings! I swear, your nosiness will be the death of you. Always. I'm Owen, and this is what I do here. It's safe. I can keep an eye on it, and I can chase off the seagulls. And when the weirdness comes, and the dead start rising up from their graves, then a rooftop garden will be much safer than one on the ground. I let Rark in. He doesn't talk so much. He's my best friend. My hoe in your skull would be worth 1,000 words. No, I can handle a few seagulls. I'm not like that idiot Gwilyn. I have everything I need. And you, the fly in the ointment. You need to talk to plants to help them grow. I'm not gonna waste my breath on people.
If I just stay put, everything will be just fine.
Stay out of my way.
Boy, friend, A question. Do you know why people always stop and watch a blacksmith at work? Because he's riveting. It's good to see a new face in this sad hole.
Oh, of course. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Osbert, local master of hammers and anvils. Do you need your blade sharpened?
Not really. Especially since we went into a lockdown a while ago. People used to come and go. Now and then a ship would make a stop at the village below, but nobody's really come around since. Well, since the entire shit show that's going down everywhere. Now that I think of it, you're the first they've let in. What'd you do? Who did you bribe? Oh, so you have friends in Camelot. Good for you. Of course I do. Those pins are peak craftsmanship, and very rare at that. We only gave them out on Camelot's orders. But when I look at you, well, it's pretty obvious you wouldn't be able to beat a knight. And even if you found one already dead, you'd sooner nick his armor than a pin you knew nothing about. Either way, good for you. Sometimes I wonder, how many things can go wrong at the same time. They say that misery loves company, but here, it's like we've done something to anger the gods, and they're taking their sweet revenge. First, we started hearing that the weirdness was spreading near Grubwood. Soon after that, we saw waves of bandits approaching from there. Desperate people. They took a lot of our territory. Then, the Del Rita tribes took over the All-Mother's Temple. And after that, the supply chains from Camelot collapsed for some reason. And so on and so forth. We're in quite a pickle, my friend. We've started betting on what's going to happen next. Sea monsters? Who knows? I don't know. It's hard to explain. They kept to themselves, perched in the mountains near the Forlorn Swords. Then something happened, and suddenly we saw ships arriving near our eastern shores. A couple days later, the tribes took over. One good thing is that the bandits aren't up to fighting with them. One bad thing, we aren't either. Yes, that damn forest north of here was already cursed and creepy. But now, I've heard it's an entirely different level of crazy. They say that some men here started going dark up north. With that, the weirdness started moving. And when the weirdness gets here, well, we're fucked. But you know that. Every child has heard the stories. Truth be told, most of them are just people desperate to survive. When the villagers started dying out because of the weirdness, hunger, or raids, they lost their livelihoods, ended up with nothing to their names, and nowhere to go. So they banded together and started raiding whatever was left. Then they turned to killing each other. They're like rabid wolves. Too bad they're here now, too. Yeah. After we lost 2 squads trying to take back the All-Mother's Temple from the Dalrita, our captain decided that nobody leaves the Horns. Then, he shut himself in his office, without leaving us any orders. Virgus is trying to keep the lads occupied, but... just look around. Half of the people here are losing their minds, and the rest are losing their wages on drink. I heard that Dew fell down the stairs and didn't break a single bone. So that's a start. Other than that, no, I can't think of anything. Ha! Friend, I wish. But the only task I could use help with might be a bit too delicate for you to handle. Unless you're a master goldsmith, then feel free to prove it, and I'll have work for you immediately. There's just not enough of them to go around. And now that we're on lockdown, there's not much demand for my services either. Listen, I said I don't have any jobs, as in things I pay you for doing. That doesn't mean I can't teach you a thing or two. If you're willing to learn, that is. Since you're free to wander about while I'm stuck in the keep, maybe we can make good use of that. You've probably bashed in the skull of a beast or two, right? The alchemists. They're likely snatching up the corpses, using the muck to cook their weird concoctions. But perhaps you'd rather craft yourself some armor from those hides, huh? We should start with something simple. Let's see. I'll give you some notes on how to make armor. You gather the materials and get to work. And when you're done, you can bring it over so I can see what you've made.
You're the reason they put me here. You just wait until they let me out. I'll beat you so hard your own mother won't recognize you. Come a little closer, so I can at least spit in your face. Nobody asks your opinion. I drink 'cause I want to. I drink 'cause guarding that empty gate is the most boring shit in the world. What's it to you, anyway, huh? Maybe I was drunk, but the gate was guarded. It's not your damn pin, I wouldn't even let you in. But all is not lost. We can still be friends. Listen, just pour something delicious down my throat, huh? And I'll forget this insult. I'm not guarding the gate right this second, am I? There's nothing wrong with having a little sip, right? Come on, don't be like that. Just a drop. That's all I ask. I knew it, my friend. I knew we could get along. Oh, delicious. You're the best, you know.
Oh, a new face. It's always nice to see someone new here. Welcome, welcome. Why didn't I notice you earlier? Yes, my apologies. Ever since breakfast today, I've been sort of lost in thought. I keep thinking of my dear mother's cooking, especially her famous pie. You see, all we got here is venison and fish. Venison, then fish. And then fish, fish, and more fish. I could live with all the bullshit that's thrown at us soldiers. But the longer I live, the more I realize there's not much to live for, except food. And I'd kill for a slice of that pie. As if it were that easy. I ain't much of a cook. And Rorik, the one we have here, well, he says we're soldiers, so we can stick our complaints up our asses. Really? Sure, I remember it well. Here you go.
All mother's tits. I've just about had it with this bunch of repressed virgins. And who might you be? You don't look like one of them. Oh, do I now? You would be too if you had to deal with those sniveling morons when they're up to something. Don't look at me like that. You don't get as far in life as I have if you can't smell bullshit from a mile away. There's something fishy going on here. But I'll get to the bottom of it. And here's a brilliant idea. You're going to help me. I just need you to go to Brandon and find out why that slime ball is pretending not to know I'm here. Tell him I'm waiting with his delivery. Although I'm pretty sure he knows this already. Right. What was I thinking? You wouldn't. You're new here, right? Shit. There's something going on, you know? They don't want anybody to know, but I can feel it. I've been doing business with the captain for years now. Then suddenly I found myself stuck here. They won't let me further in, not even to set up camp in the village. But they won't let me out either. Anyway, good luck to you. Come and visit if you need anything. Name's Orla. I'm a merchant. Or I try to be, when my business isn't being held hostage by a bunch of idiots who seem to be terrified of women. What was I thinking when I decided to leave Timberwall? Should have stayed there. Oh, love, plenty. And almost none of them happy. I'll never forget the first time we stumbled upon a place after a cloud of the weirdness oozed through. It was a small settlement, just a few houses. There was this odd, bitter taste in the air. The place was completely abandoned. Or so we thought, until we started finding them, one by one. A man who tried to chop off his legs after they started sprouting antlers. Another one who gouged his eyes out, so he wouldn't have to look at his child melting into the floor. A woman in the farthest corner of the settlement managed to stab herself in the heart before it got to her. I almost dropped it all and ran back to Timberwall that day. I'm still not sure why I didn't. I guess giving up just isn't in my nature. You've never been to the merchant capital? Well, you didn't miss much. Yes, it's rich and extravagant, but only if you're rich and extravagant, too. Other than that, it's a place like any other. The same pain and misery hiding behind gilded walls. It's not as exciting as people think. Or, well, maybe it is, if you like living with a bunch of backstabbing crooks. Yeah, now I remember what I was thinking when I left that place. I have no home in Timberwall. Well, We have an estate, but it hasn't felt like home for a long time. I feel like every time I go back, I recognize it less and less. The people are getting greedier and more desperate by the day. Business is slow, I'm not gonna lie. With the weirdness creeping in from the north and bandits everywhere, trade's just not as profitable as it used to be. But, I don't know. Being a merchant from Timberwall used to mean craftiness, taking risks, looking for opportunities. Now, they only care about keeping their heads down and preserving their fortunes. Not really. It's more of a requirement if you ever want to be successful in Timberwall. My family is full of them. You do realize you won't score any points with the Keepers by helping me, right? Those holier-than-thou soldier boys have no idea what it takes to be a merchant in this sorry world. The things we have to do sometimes aren't exactly done according to the rulebook. All right. A woman named Ness has my cargo and I need it back. I don't know where she is, but starting the search near the Arkspire seems like a good idea. And yes, you'll get paid. Just bring me the wares.
Let me guess. Camelot, no? Timberwall, also no? So you're not from the north? Ah, of course.
You must be from Quanacht. I should have guessed right away. So, who's in charge there now? Nowhere? Never heard about it. Must be a shithole like no other. And I think I won't learn much about politics from you.
You know, people are talking about rising unrest in the north, and a secret coalition preparing a coup at the highest levels of power. And that whole plague thing is just a tool to reach their final goal. The Red Priests are also trying to get something out of it.
And to be honest, it's not going too bad for them. The Druids are out of the picture already.
Well, sure. They want to establish a new order on our island. And it's not clear who's involved in the whole mess.
Maybe. Maybe our captain is even involved. Hell knows. They have their people everywhere. Damn it, you could be one of them too. Although when I look at you, I don't think so. You have such a stupid face. With all due respect, of course.
That's the case. Those sons of bitches are good at hiding. They kinda blend in and live among us. It's hard to tell if it's hideous magic or some other tricks. You see? It takes one to know one. and that means we're just pawns. Folks like us won't change anything. But we have to talk out loud. It suits them when everyone keeps their mouth shut.
Wait a minute. I'm not suggesting anything here. I'm just thinking out loud.
It doesn't make sense that the plague appeared just like that. Out of bloody nowhere? Hell no. It's a high-stakes game.
Power over us, of course. Over our bodies and souls. Over Avalon. Over the whole damn course of history. You know, I've been thinking lately. What if King Arthur is just a stupid fairy tale? What if the nobles and others involved in the whole conspiracy just made him up? And us peasants eventually just started to believe in it.
You know, one story for everyone. They drilled it into our heads, and drilled until it finally stuck. And then they built statues, wrote books, and everything else.
Yeah? Don't tell me you're one of those fools that think that the All-Mother exists. Have you ever seen her? How do you know that we're not being lied to?
Exactly. But maybe one day you'll see the truth.
Welcome! In the name of our eternally reigning Majesty King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Tables, I am obliged to inform you that fighting those who actively break the law and reject the rule of the crown is the duty and pride of every subject. As Camelot's representative, I will be paying a bounty of 10 gold pieces for the death of each bandit roving the area, as long as adequate proof is provided. I also recommend checking the bounty board for information on wanted criminals, especially those considered particularly dangerous. Please, state your business. That's correct. My name is Killian. I was sent here from the capital to see how the Horns of the South are handling the bandit problem, and also to encourage the Keepers to fight. The situation with the Pict and Del Rita savages is precarious. Too bad we can't get rid of them as easily as we did with the Druids. There have also been rumors that we might soon have a civil war on our hands, so Camelot cannot afford to spread our forces too thin. There are rumors that the Rita tribes want to unite, and that would mean open war with Camelot. As for those Pict savages, they've been growing bold, leaving their forest. For now, it's just been small scrimmages, but who knows how it'll end. Well, you've probably heard about the Druids making human sacrifices by stuffing people into wicker puppets and setting them on fire. Well, the people decided to give them a taste of their own medicine. They rounded them all up, and then sent them up in smoke. Oh, how they must have howled and sizzled. Too bad I couldn't see it. Yep, made human sacrifices, prayed to the dark gods, brought the weirdness back. Bunch of bastards. Good thing they're worm food now. Most of them, the survivors have supposedly taken refuge with savages in the woods, and one of them is rumored to be hiding in the Horns area. But whether that was before or after the Charred Conclave, I don't know. Would you like to hear about him? Suit yourself. I don't really have much more to tell. It's hard to get any updates here. I only know that the new Lancelot has not been very popular, and that's putting it mildly. The Witch Morgaine would have been burnt at the stake long ago if everyone weren't so afraid of her. And then we have the commoners who seem to keep forgetting their place, and loudly demanding changes. Everything is falling apart. None so far. The Keepers don't want to risk being turned into pincushions for a mere 10 gold pieces. Besides, the captain banned them from leaving the Horns of the South without a good reason. Too many bandits and not enough Keepers. Oh, you have no idea. When I heard they were sending me south, to the very place that's crawling with bandits and barbarians from the tribes, I imagine I'd be a little closer to the action, you know? Fighting, gushing blood, screams and such like. I thought the veterans would be showing me their scars and stumps and telling me tales of how they lost their eyes, ears and limbs. Or even better, how they were ripping open throats and bellies. Instead, the only stories I hear are when those fools break their own legs when they get drunk and fall off the walls. I could be, but many people can swing a sword, but only a few have as sharp and bright a mind as I do. It's just that some people were made for fighting, while others are destined for greater things. Besides, watching and listening gives me enough satisfaction without needing to risk my life. Yeah, I've been like this since I was a child. The moment an execution is over, I'm waiting for the next one, and there are quite a lot of them in Camelot. And I like to watch where Mum punished the servants with a whipping. It's just how I am. Well, Camelot would send a group of knights with Sir Galahad at the head, and he's not interested in half measures. He'd probably burn down half the garrison, or hang them. He's done both. By the way, did you know that people who are hanged rarely die from strangulation? Usually the sudden jolt causes the backbone to snap, which separates the head from the body. A while ago I saw someone hanged in the village, and it's true. One snap, and it's done. No matter what you say about him, he's very efficient. Brutal, even by my standards, but efficient. Oh, sure, plenty. Did you know that apparently if you cut off someone's head, they don't die straight away, but remain conscious for a few moments? If someone dies in a damp, closed-off space, sometimes, but very rarely, their body creates a thin layer of wax on the surface of the skin. I heard that a body decomposes in water 4 times faster than on land. I need to think. If I remember anything, I'll let you know. Oh, someone finally checked out the notices I was posting on the board.
Go chop off some heads.
Oh, hey, before you go, I can see the blood loss in your eyes, you know. It takes one to know one. So here's some friendly advice, free of charge. If you're seeking scum to slay, you'll find bandits in the ruins of a merchant settlement nearby. It's worth visiting if you haven't already.
Oh, sorry. Do I know you? I'm terrible with faces. Either way, glad to make your acquaintance. I'm Jan Heber, a physician raised in Camelot and trained in the Royal Academy. is some local witchcraft I've been trying to make sense of. I guess I'll find out when I try it. Experience is the best teacher. Don't worry, I'm not testing anything on the others. Graham the Mad, a great Camelotian physician, used to say that a real doctor would never give his patients something he hadn't tried on himself first. A wise approach, which I follow myself. What irony? The pursuit of knowledge is always dangerous. That's why it's reserved for only the bravest of the brave. It takes true guts to face the unknown, to realize just how little you know, and how insignificant you are to the world. Oh, that was unexpected. Here, take it. What will happen, I have no idea, but please tell me, if you live to find out. I don't dream about anything anymore, so sleep feels like a waste of precious time. Fortunately, back in Camelot, I found a mix of remedies that can keep me awake for a whole week. It was quite popular in our study group. Oh no, every physician needs his secrets. But I can sell you some if you promise not to tell any of the higher-ups. There are side effects. You won't fall asleep for a while, but the moment you do, well, you'll feel like you died and came back to life, only to die again. So you either take the next dose, or endure it. I can endure it because I don't have a post to attend to. But our brave soldiers, well, that'd be risky. Well, they already trust my word, and I'll be sure to deny everything. Moreover, I'm in the position to raise my prices, or to refuse to sell you medicine, whichever suits my mood. I'm honestly quite offended you're even asking. I was classically trained in the proper art of medicine by the scholars of Camelot. The things they do here, they make no sense. No sense at all. Most of this stuff shouldn't even be effective, yet it seems to work wonders on these simple-minded, tough-bodied people here in the south. Shipments from Camelot are late, so I'm running low on supplies. If I'm not able to treat them, they'll start complaining. And Fergus doesn't like when people complain, especially when it comes to their health. He truly cares about them, I've got to admit. He doesn't care much about anyone else, though. Lanzo knows very well what he must do. I'm sorry, but there's nothing else I can do for him. Either he removes the tooth, or it will keep hurting. He's not dying! He has a toothache, for crying out loud. A physician's duty is to treat an illness, not its symptoms. Of course, I could give him something to ease the pain, but there's no point if he doesn't get rid of the underlying cause. Yes, his grandma's miracle medicine. I honestly don't have time for village superstitions. I had to confiscate the recipe as well, lest he tries making it himself. As if I don't have enough problems already. Times in the keep are tough. Everyone is either bored or restless. Honestly, the last thing I need is people poisoning themselves with some unknown potion they don't even have the qualifications to make. No, I thought I made myself clear. If you want an excuse to drink yourself to oblivion on moonshine, just drink the moonshine. No need to add other potentially dangerous ingredients. Well, to be fair, the base recipe is pretty harmless. But what if someone decides that if they don't have carnation, it's perfectly fine to substitute it with devil's snare, since the color is more or less the same? Or sage with wolfsbane because, you know, leaves are leaves. I'm sorry, but unfortunately I know these people well enough not to trust them with something like this. What? How do you... You know what? Fine. Do whatever you want. But if it causes you to shit yourself for 3 days straight, don't come running to me. Why would you, though? Don't you have better things to do? Aha, got it. So you're up for work not out of the goodness of your heart, but for your own selfish plans. Good point. That is a very good point. But all right, if you're a mercenary, then I do have a job for someone who'd be willing to risk their life in exchange for material goods. Back at the Academy, I found an ancient scroll written by the Druids. Forbidden knowledge, especially now, after the mob forced them all into a wicker man and burned every last one of them to ash. I finally deciphered it a little while ago. It describes a ritual that needs to be performed at night within a stone circle. And guess what? There's one in the nearby forest. I guess you already know what I need you to do, hmm? That is an excellent question, but I don't know. From what I've been able to decipher, it's a summoning spell to bring something or someone to our world. That being will share its great knowledge with the one brave enough to summon it. I need you to remember what it says and repeat it to me after you're back, word for word. And here I am, thinking that everyone's already heard about the Charred Conclave. Well, it wasn't the proudest moment in our history, that's for sure. You truly don't know. At some point, the villagers all around the island decided that the Druids were responsible for the Red Death, and all other ailments of our times. They rounded them all up in a massive wicker man north of the Forlorn Swords, and burned them all to ashes. Hundreds of years of knowledge gone within the blink of an eye. But, well, that's what's bound to happen when you stop paying for people's education and invest in keeping the elites fed instead. Isn't it obvious? I'm the only medic they have here at the Horns. I'd like to see Fergus's face if he hears about me going out there.
You think I don't see ya?
Sometimes it's nice to just sit and think.
Ah, you're back! How's the remedy?
Thank you! Ah, I'll finally be able to eat something.
Here, take this as my thanks for your help.
Ah, look who is. It's the best of my friends. Oh, thank you for your support back there in the stocks. All is forgiven. If you find anything delicious, you know where to find me, eh? Pix and Dalraya, here, the guests. And they say I'm not drunk. Oh, peaceful, dull, windy. I've served here for 20 years and nothing's changed. Oh, except for the lockdown. That's something new. Yeah, so get me started. I grew up inland in Blightweed. It's a backwater, but at least it's dry and not as windy. Ah, but there's one good thing about Blightweed, yeah? Root water. The best moonshine on Avalon. Aye, we had some good times, me and Rootwater. But one day my parents just dropped me here. I don't remember how it happens, I just woke up with a huge hangover, but they kept me. Ah, the keepers, I mean. Keepers? So, I pulled myself together, you know. Now I've got a good life here in the Orns of the South. I've got an important job, yeah? Guarding the gate. I do miss home sometimes, and the moonshine. Ah, we had some special root there for root water. I tried to find it in the woods nearby, but I guess it just doesn't grow here. Oh, should you ever be in the area, go to the tavern and try the moonshine. Oh, and gather some roots so you can make more for yourself, yeah. Well, nobody gets in and nobody gets out. Don't ask me why. I don't give a shit. Oh, But you have this thingy pinned so you can come and go as you please, eh? Just don't forget about ye old keeper. Me. Me. Oh, and the moonshine. We belong together, you know.
I will bleed you! Say your prayers.
I'll have your head on a pike. Stand. I'm not giving up yet. You'll be fertilizing the soil. Beg for mercy. You'll regret this. I'll teach you to respect me. I won't go down easy. Beg for mercy. I'll teach you to respect me. Say your prayers. I will bleed you. I'll have your head on a pike. I'm not scared of you! me angrier! Oh, you'll regret this! We'll make short work of you. Your road ends here. This is going to hurt. This is my lucky day. We'll make short work of you. Your road ends here. Scared of you? I'll teach you to respect me.
Be prepared for anything.
I'll teach you to respect me.
You've been fertilizing the soil. lies in the soil.
It depends on who's asking and why. No, I'm kidding. I don't meet many outsiders these days. I'm Mark, a hunter in the service of the Horns of the South. Everything is interesting around here. But ultimately, it depends on what you're looking for. To understand that when someone enlists with the Horns of the South, he leaves his former self outside the walls of the keep. His old life, it loses all meaning. If someone comes here and gets political, well, they'll end up disappointed. I don't know if you're aware, but becoming the captain is a curse for any true keeper. It's not the honor others on Avalon seem to think it is. Because the captain answers to Camelot and its representative, Galahad. So every captain needs to get political, whether he likes it or not. And the current Galahad is a real piece of shit. He burns people under any pretext whatsoever, or none at all. He sows terror. I have no respect for the man. I'm self-sufficient enough not to have to ask for help. However, I suppose it could help you. I could share some things I found out during my hunts. I don't know what it is about this place. Not even the dead hardly ever get any rest. Though I'll admit, it's getting worse lately. They keep emerging from the local cemetery in numbers greater than that small plot of land ever held. So I'm guessing we might have a necromancer on our hands. And here I thought after the Charred Conclave, we'd have more than 100 years of peace from them. Only every century or so. But even that's too often if you ask me. Something seems to draw them here. Well, it's probably all that death. The South has always been restless. And after what happened with the sunken village, I guess death is seeped into the very soul of this land. Must be quite alluring for that lot. Because I'm not stupid or suicidal. I can go up against a few undead. But their masters are a different story. I'm a simple hunter. While they have the power to raise the dead. Arrows are only good against magic if you're far away from the caster. Which is impossible in the crypt. But if you decide not to help, I'll have no choice, will I? Or I could just wait for the necromancer to be destroyed by what they summoned. It happens sometimes, from what I've heard. Good. Try not to die. That undead swarm doesn't need any more recruits.
Who's come to visit me here? Surely you're not here to steal my treasures, are you? Oh, they call me all sorts of things. Evil spirit, lurking fiend, imp fae, nasty little thieving pest. But really, my name is Mark. We're definitely not fae, that's something else entirely. I'm what people wanted to believe in. The one who snatched their last coin for a beer, swearing they had it just a moment ago. The reason they can't find their left sock in the morning. The cause of a missing wedding ring, oh, so on. It happens. I suspect it's because I really like to snatch people's little trinkets. But between you and me, if they paid more attention, it wouldn't be so easy to steal their things. Oh, you offend me in my own home. So not nice. Sure, it's junk to you now, but when you have to head out into the cold and can't find one glove, well, suddenly it becomes very important. And that glove? I've had it for ages. And I'm just helping people appreciate the little things, because those are the only things that truly matter in life, right? At least that's what some bores say. Nah, it's just hilarious, watching you all lose your minds over a missing key or a sock. And I've been doing this for centuries. It's second nature by now. What is it with you people in gold? I've been around for ages, I still don't get it. I don't give a damn about gold and jewels. You talk about them, you suddenly get all serious and pompous. I'm just here for fun. Oh, you shouldn't ask a lady such things. But you can ask me. I don't remember exactly. 9, 10 centuries at least, maybe more, 15, 23, I don't know. Strange. I thought people liked being buried with their little trinkets and shiny bits. And since I'll be dying soon, a crypt seems perfect. That's right. I used to play tricks on people back in the homelands. Back then, they respected me. But ever since we came to Avalon, it's just been getting worse. They're forgetting. Sometimes someone still tosses salt over their left shoulder for me, or maybe leaves a little bowl of milk with honey outside, but those folks are rare now. And when they all forget me, that's the end. No, it's just the natural order of things. I've lived long enough anyway. But since I'm kicking the bucket soon, I could pass on some of my power to you. What you say? Because first you'll have to do something for me, and it'll be hilariously fun. Well, before I give you some of my power, I just want something from you. Something stolen. Nothing big or expensive, just a little trinket. Just sneak into someone's house and swipe the shoes, or grab a wooden mug from the tavern. Will you do that for me? Great! Now you can either keep your word and commit the terrible sin of theft, or break your promise. And if you ever feel like a bit of thievery, I'll be waiting right here.
Who goes there? Are you the one responsible for all that racket? People are trying to rest in peace, damn it. You should be. These folks fell into their eternal slumber a long time ago. But some of them have turned out to be very light sleepers. Not their fault, but we should at least try not to wake them up. I'm telling you, ever since people started burning their dead, it's like they've forgotten proper manners in places like this. My name's Huardok, and I am the keeper of this place. I look after the dead, or at least, I try to. It used to be much easier where they stayed in one place. Now I need to keep making sure they don't stray too far from the cemetery. But I'm not complaining. A little exercise is good for the body. Truth be told, I'm not quite sure. Has it been a long time since the wave came and swallowed the village? That was when people stopped coming here. It's like the sea washed away the memory of this place as well. I don't remember much of what happened afterwards. I must have fallen asleep for a while. Dead, alive, what's the difference? I am here. I always have been, and I always will be, until the day I'm released from my service. I know everything that happens here. If you're looking for some juicy gossip, Becca from the third row south still has no idea where her husband is. They were supposed to be buried together, you see, but he never showed up. The scoundrel. Everyone here thinks he got remarried and chose to rest with his second wife. Not me. I think he probably got eaten. Oh, that would be Master. He's been at his experiments again, I'm afraid. Getting the folks around here all agitated. Putting them back to sleep again is going to be such a chore. Master is Master. He commands the dead. I don't know much else. I'm here to serve, not to ask questions. Dunno. Usual. Glowing chalk, candles, and dead bodies. I even saw some new faces recently, but they didn't stay long. You want me to betray his trust that easily? We barely know each other. I wouldn't tell you even if I could. Because it's my purpose. The sole reason I was brought back. That has never changed, just as I haven't. But I'm happy where I am. The dead need company too, you know. The folks here were forsaken by the living. At least I can make sure they're not lonely. Interested in local history, are you? Good, good. The memory of those who came before us should be preserved. I can let you in. There is a small fee of 5 gold coins, for the upkeep of the cemetery, of course. It's constant work, as you can clearly see, and my petitions for additional funds seem to have fallen on deaf ears. Oh, you should have said so from the start. Did you know that some prominent keepers rest in this place? You should pay your respects. Oh, and When you're back, please remind your captain of this place. It's in a dire condition. It requires his immediate attention.